And today we're reacting to Antonio Brown was arrested for attempted M. Damn, bro. It's showing and it's clear that this man is off his rocker. He has officially twacked out. He's definitely officially checked out of the game at this point, bro. They got him. They found him. So let's get into it, man. Let's do it.
Antonio Brown has been arrested on attempted murder charges. He is now in New Jersey waiting for extradition to Miami.
What do you think about CT? What is CT?
It's like brain damage, right?
I don't want to say you're brain damage. You think I got CT?
You know, every single time I make a video on Antonio Brown, I say the same thing over and over again. At this point, I'm willing to admit it's a blatant lie. Every time I say this is probably going to be the last video we make on Antonio Brown, he just keeps raising the bar in something absurd that he's doing that I can't help but cover. Antonio Brown is back in America, not by choice, not for a comeback. He was literally just extradited by U.S. Marshals from Dubai a few hours ago to face attempted murder charges. Yeah, the same guy who caught touchdown passes from Tom Brady in the Super Bowl is now in custody, being transferred from Newark, New Jersey back to Miami-Dade County, where he allegedly tried to shoot someone at a celebrity boxing event 6 months ago. We're gonna get into all of it. The shooting,
just having the world. I'm about to, like, again, I think it's the CTE, bro. It's too many times you get hit in your head, bro, in your skull. I got the world, but I'm about to shoot up this celebrity boxing match, though. Jesus! Bro, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make poor decisions and run off the field. Like, it's like it. Once ever it just keeps going. This guy got a signed Kobe jersey. Whenever it just keeps going and going and going.
The victim, the evidence, why he ran to Dubai, what this means for his future. But first, you need to understand just how far Antonio Brown has fallen, because this story is about way more than just one bad night in Miami. This is about a complete and total collapse of one of the most talented players in NFL history. This video is probably going to get demonetized. To help us with monetization, this video is sponsored. You guys have been flooding my DMs about our game description. Antonio Brown wasn't just good at football. He was generational. A 7-time Pro Bowler, a 4-time first-team All-Pro. He led the NFL in receptions twice, receiving yards twice, and touchdowns once. During his peak with the Pittsburgh Steelers from 2010 to 2018, this man was literally unstoppable.
That's a lot of years getting hit. That's a lot of years, especially during that period where a lot of the, like, rules and certain things is just, it's a lot of big hitters were during this time frame.
6th round pick from Central Michigan, who became one of the greatest receivers of the 2010s. He caught passes from Ben Roethlisberger, made the Pro Bowl basically every year, and was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. In 2019, he let the success go to his head, but in 2020, he got his redemption arc. Tom Brady personally recruited him to Tampa Bay, and AB helped the Bucs win the Super Bowl. It was supposed to be the comeback story, the troubled star finding his way back, but that's not how this story ends, because just months later, in January of 2022, everything fell apart in the most Antonio Brown way possible. In the middle of the game against the New York Jets, AB literally took off his jersey, his shoulder pads, threw his gloves into the crowd, and ran off the field shirtless while the game was still happening. Head coach Bruce Arians immediately said,
"He is no longer a Buck." That's the end of the story. Let's talk about the guys that went out there and won the game.
Career over. At the age of 33, one of the best receivers in NFL history ended his career by literally quitting mid-game.
Crazy. Just like the most high school BS. We had a guy on our team. He waited till one of the end of the games till, like, at the end of it, he just cursed the coaches out or what ran off the court. It was like, I guess, just so dumb.
You'd think that would be rock bottom, right? That was somehow just the beginning. AB's legal issues didn't start with attempted murder. They've been building for years. Back in 2020, he pleaded no contest to felony burglary with battery after allegedly assaulting a moving truck driver over a $4,000 dispute. He got 2 years probation, anger management classes, community service. Then in 2022, Tampa police issued a domestic violence warrant after he allegedly threw a shoe at his ex-fiance and threatened to shoot her. Those charges eventually got dropped when the victim recanted, but the pattern was clear. By 2023, he was getting arrested for unpaid child support, owing over $30,000. Then came the bankruptcy filing in May of 2020.
After more than $80 million in earning careers filed for bankruptcy, bro. Just doing dumb shit. who knows what Antonio Brown could possibly be spending his money on. I'm sure it's all not all the same. You know what I'm saying? The clothes, the cars, the hoes.
Or this dude made over $80 million during his NFL career, and he declared bankruptcy, claiming just $50,000 in assets against almost $3 million in debts. We're talking about owing money to everyone. $1 million to the truck driver he assaulted, over $1 million to a celebrity jeweler for custom pieces he never returned.
Bro, what's up with these niggas and these jewelers? Sean Kingston, same way. They getting all the jewelers are the biggest finesse to these niggas, bro. Now but they not though, because they come back around and get their money anyway. And I know that truck driver was lit as hell when he got hit by AB. AB owe me $1 million. AB owe me $1 million.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit card debt.
I ain't broke. AB owe me $1 million.
Complete financial chaos. But here's the thing about all those legal issues. They were still in the realm of a troubled former athlete. Assault charges, bankruptcy, child support drama. We've seen all of that before with other players. This next part is way different. May 16th, 2025, just before midnight in Miami's Little Haiti neighborhood, Aiden Ross is hosting a celebrity boxing event at a warehouse, one of those brand risk boxing cards that was blowing up on Kick and social media. Antonio Brown is there, probably trying to stay relevant in that influencer world. And that's when everything goes.
He was rapping too when he had a song. Put the shit on. Stupid ass song. Hey, what's good, y'all? I'm back again. And I've been putting a lot of people on to this program called Free Cash for a while now. Check out one of my supporters that had the biggest payout that I've seen yet from all the DMs y'all sent. And I promise you, they've been hitting me up saying that they've tried it and it's worked. They've been getting cashed out, and I love to hear that because it genuinely actually works. And don't think I have not been seeing y'all's comments saying things like it doesn't work. Dior supporting a finesse. They're trying to take your data. And it's not true at all. And the fact that y'all would think that I would even put that on a video to get y'all finessed is wild to me. But hey, first off, Free Cash does not sell your data. They strictly track your progress to make sure you can get paid. Only sign up with an email and password and give no personal information. So I don't know what y'all are talking about. Here's how it goes. You sign up through my link, and inside you see a list of apps and games. Download and play and beat the levels that they tell you. That's the key. You got to complete the requirement. And once you hit the level, the system credits your account. And every time you finish, you get real money. Cash out to your PayPal or get a gift card, while it also being free of charge. The games pay Free Cash to get new players, and Free Cash just shares the money with y'all for trying it out. It may take a little time to get a huge payout, but if you're gonna be on your phone playing games anyway, you might as well make $5 to $10 doing the same thing. I don't want to hold y'all any longer, and I hope I've cleared up some things if you've been sitting on the fence. Hit the link, try a few games, and then DM me. Let me know that you've been winning, actually getting your money. Like I showed y'all earlier, bro made $1,000 off of Free Cash. I'm not promising that's gonna happen every day for y'all, but the fact that there's a possibility for doing something that y'all already do should really be all the convincing that you need, bro.
According to the arrest warrant that would come later, Brown got into it with a kid named Zulkarnain Kwambe Nantambu, someone who claimed that he knew AB since around 2022. Surveillance footage shows Antonio Brown throwing a closed fist punch at Nantambu, and suddenly there's a full-on brawl with multiple people involved. Security breaks it up. At this point, it's just another parking lot fight. The warrant alleges that Brown grabbed a black firearm from the right hip area of a security officer named Eric Bauer. Multiple witnesses captured this on their phones. You can see AB on video advancing toward Nantambu on the sidewalk, weapon in hand, and then the footage shows Brown within several feet of Nantambu when he fires, with the victim literally ducking after the first shot. Police responded to shot spotter alerts and found 2 spent shell casing at the scene, plus an empty gun holster. Multiple witnesses in the parking lot identified Antonio Brown as the shooter. When officers detained Brown at the scene, he didn't have the gun on him anymore, and no victims were immediately identified. So they let him go that night, but the investigation was just getting started. So you would think Antonio Brown would do whatever he can to cover this up, right? But he might have done the exact opposite. The very next day, May 17th, Antonio Brown did what he always does. He went to...
I was jumped by multiple individuals who tried to steal my jewelry and cause physical harm to me. Contrary to some video circulating, police temporarily detained me until they received my side of the story, then released me. I went home that night. Nigga, you don't know the first thing to shutting the hell up while an open investigation is going on? You just went out here and just started saying, yeah, I came out here and I was like, this is what happened. I'll be talking to my legal counsel and attorneys, obviously not, pressing charges on the individual that jumped me. Obviously, you didn't speak.
Social media. He posted on X, "I was jumped by multiple individuals claiming he was the victim of a robbery attempt." He also went on Aiden Ross's live stream the next day and said this.
Yeah, I got CT. I blacked out. I don't know what happened. Blacked out, dude. I blacked out, Aiden. I know what happened. I know.
Now, legally speaking, that's a terrible thing to admit. You just acknowledge that you don't remember what happened during an incident where you're accused of attempted murder. That's not helping your case at all. For about a month, nothing happened publicly, but behind the scenes, Miami-Dade detectives were building their case. They collected the surveillance footage, the cell phone videos, witness statements, hospital records, the shell casing, the shot spotter data, everything. On June 11th, 2025, a Miami-Dade County judge signed an arrest warrant charging Antonio Brown with attempted second-degree murder with a firearm. The bond was set at just $10,000 with house arrest conditions, which honestly seems low for attempted murder, but here's the catch. Antonio Brown had to surrender himself, and he never did. Instead, according to Miami Police Chief Manny Morales, detectives believe Brown was in Dubai, and Brown's Instagram basically confirmed it.
Hey, there's no way with owing all that money, he was able to live the Dubai lifestyle for long, bro. Like, he lost, he owing too many people, he lost too much. There's no way he was able to, he was out there living that Dubai lifestyle for long. I know it was starting to get heavy.
He was posting from the Middle East, living it up while wanted for attempted murder back home. 2 days after the warrant was arrested, he posted a video of himself riding a bike in Dubai with the caption, #love from the Middle East. This man was literally taunting authorities while he was on the run. Now, technically, according to the Miami Herald, his trip to Dubai started before the warrant was issued. So he technically
just
wasn't
I'm
on
staying.
the run, but the fact that he stayed there for nearly 5 months after the warrant became
I'm just gonna stay out
public,
here.
yeah, that's just fleeing from justice. Not even rich sugar babies take 5-month trips to Dubai. The weird thing is, AB went mostly silent on social media after the warrant became public. He had been posting constantly before, like over 50 posts in the week before the warrant, and then suddenly, nothing. That silence was deafening. It suggested that maybe, just maybe, someone convinced him to shut up and get legal representation. Which brings us to November 6th, 2025.
He done cut his hair. He looked like an older man. That stress, bro, that stress on the run stress hit different.
Antonio Brown has been extradited.
He probably
from Dubai
feels so
back
much
to the
better
United
now.
States by federal agents. United Arab Emirates authorities shipped him back to the States, and he arrived in Newark, New Jersey earlier on Thursday, accompanied by U.S. Marshals. Jail records show that he was booked into Essex County Jail in New Jersey, and he's being held there until they can transport him down to South Florida, where he'll be formally charged and booked into Miami-Dade County Jail. The Miami Police Department confirmed the extradition and released a statement saying, "This is just another example of the relentless work and dedication of Miami police detectives, working closely with the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office and U.S. Marshals to identify and arrest those who commit crimes in the city of Miami." After nearly 5 months of being essentially a fugitive in Dubai, AB is finally on U.S. soil and facing the music. Let's talk about what Antonio Brown is actually up against here. He's being charged with attempted second-degree murder with a firearm. In Florida, that carries a potential sentence of 15 to 30 years in prison. But it gets worse. Florida has these firearm enhancement laws that are brutal. Just possessing a firearm during a felony can add 10 years minimum.
I wasn't thinking about that. Yeah, that is true. That is a thing. He was possessing a firearm while he already had active shit.
To your sentence. Actually discharging that firearm, that's a 20-year mandatory minimum. There are also aggravating factors that could push his sentence higher. The shooting happened in a public place with lots of people around. A victim was actually injured. He allegedly fled the scene, and he's got prior criminal history with that 2020.
Bro, why is he playing this so gangster, bro? For what? You out here toting the weapon? You out here like, and mind you, clearly in the video, allegedly, there's no self-defense going on where he's actively doing things. How certain things work, bro. Like, let's say I'm out here in Texas where gun laws are still, a certain way. If I have my strut and there's some niggas in my car, I go out to my car and some niggas is digging in my car, and they get up and they running off, and I start shooting. I'm in the wrong. If I get into it with some niggas, I take my weapon out before they get up on me, or after we got into it, and they running off doing their thing, and I and I'll do this, I'm in the wrong again. I'm gonna get in the big trouble. It's gonna look really bad for me. That's how it goes.
Felony battery conviction. Now, he could argue self-defense. His lawyer could say he was jumped in defending himself. They could challenge the witness identification or the video quality. They might try a mental health defense based on his CTE claims. But here's the problem. Prosecutors have multiple forms of evidence. They've got surveillance footage showing him punching Nantambu first, then taking the gun from security.
It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. It's over with. Over with. Punching him first, getting another guy's weapon, running down there, coming out there, wow, fleeing the scene. Oh my God, you just don't like freedom, bro. You just don't like money. You just don't like success at this point, bro.
Video of him advancing with the weapon and firing. They've got the shell casings and empty holster. They've got shot spotter data pinpointing the exact time of the shots. They've got the victim's hospital record, and they've got multiple witnesses who identified Brown as the shooter. That's a strong case, like really strong. Could there be a plea deal? Maybe. They might offer him aggravated assault with a firearm instead, which would be 5 to 15 years, or assault with a deadly weapon for 2 to 10 years, or even reckless endangerment for 1 to 5 years. But given the strength of the evidence, prosecutors might not feel any pressure to offer a plea deal. And look, when you compare Antonio Brown to other NFL players who faced similar criminal charges, this is basically uncharted territory. Let's take a look at some examples. Aaron Hernandez was convicted of first-degree murder in 2015, sentenced to life without parole, and he ended up taking his own life in prison in 2017. We have a separate video on Ray Caruth, who conspired to murder his pregnant girlfriend in 1999, served 18 years before being released in 2018. Brandon Browner is probably the most similar case to Brown's. He was sentenced to 8 years for attempted murder of his ex-girlfriend in a 2018 home invasion. And of course, the famous Ray Lewis case, one of our most popular videos on this YouTube channel. Lewis faced double murder charges back in 2000, but he plea bargained down to obstruction of justice and got 1 year probation. He was able to continue his Hall of Fame career, but Ray was 25 at the time and in his prime. AB is 37 and hasn't played in almost 4 years. The key difference is most players who came back from serious charges were young and still had NFL value. Antonio Brown's career was already over before these charges even happened. That mid-game exit in Tampa was his last play in the NFL. Even if he somehow avoids prison, we all know there's no comeback at this point.
Nah, he's not going back to NFL. He might try to rap again and make some weak-ass song, or be on the Aiden Ross's shit again, but he's not coming back to the NFL. They wouldn't even allow that. No team would even pick him up.
Now, I want to talk about CTE for a second because there's this whole conversation happening around Antonio Brown and CTE, the brain disease caused by repeated head trauma, and AB himself has repeatedly brought it up. Like when he said, I got CTE, I blacked out on Aiden Ross's stream.
Yeah, I got CTE, I blacked out. I ain't know what.
We have a
Charleston White was in the corner over there. I didn't even realize that. Not amused. He already knew what was going down.
Video covering Antonio Brown's entire career, how he behaved before the hit, and his interviews after, comparing them. It's one of the older videos on this channel. CTE is real, it's serious, and Brown played football at a high level for over a decade, taking countless hits to the head, including that famous Vontaze Burfict hit. Could that explain some of his erratic behavior? Maybe. Could it be used as a legal defense? His lawyers might try. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Lots of former NFL players have CTE or brain trauma, and they're not out here shooting at people in parking lots. The disease doesn't excuse violence. It might explain impulsivity or poor decision making, but prosecutors aren't going to just let someone walk on attempted murder charges just because they claim brain damage. CTE. Plus, AB's own statements hurt his defense. He admitted to blacking out, which means he's acknowledging that he doesn't remember his actions. That could actually work against him in court because it removes the possibility of claiming justified self-defense. If you don't remember what happened, how could you argue you were reasonably defending yourself? The mental health and CTE conversation is important for understanding Antonio Brown's overall decline, but it's probably not going to save him in court. So where do we go from here? Antonio Brown,
he looked like he's aged so much too, bro. Like, I think it's just the haircut and the beard, obviously. He is 37, but you know, that's not that old, but it's just the toll of everything that he's been going through and everything he got going on. I think it's just wore him out to a different
is
degree.
currently in Essex County Jail in New Jersey. He'll be extradited down to Miami-Dade County in the coming days, where he'll be formally arraigned on the attempted murder charge. He can post the $10,000 bond and be released on house arrest while awaiting trial, or he can stay in jail if he can't make bail. Given his bankruptcy situation, even $10,000 might be tough.
Oh,
Once he's out, he'll need
million.
to find serious legal representation, not social media lawyers or guys who'll just hype him up. He needs a top-tier Florida criminal defense attorney who specializes in violent felonies. That's expensive, really expensive. The case will probably take months to go to trial, maybe even longer. Prosecutors will present all their evidence, the videos, the witnesses, the physical evidence, the victim testimony. Brown's defense will try to poke holes in it, argue self-defense, maybe even bring up the CTE stuff. The best case scenario for AB is a plea deal for a lesser charge. Maybe he serves a few years, gets out while he's still in his early 40s. Worst case is he's convicted on the attempted murder charge with firearm enhancement, looking at potentially 20 to 30 years. At 37 years old, that's practically a life sentence. Let's zoom out for a second. Antonio Brown's story is about more than just legal charges. It's about the complete and total collapse of one of the most talented players in NFL history. Think about the trajectory. 6th round pick from Central Michigan who becomes a 7-time Pro Bowler, 4-time first team all.
He's got to lay awake at night and just kind of thinking about all the unfortunate events that have taken place. He's got to. Why did I do this? That's what I feel like how a lot of these guys do. They could do these things, it ruins them, and they lay up in bed at night at 4 o'clock in the morning with their head on the pillow like this, just looking up at the ceiling like, what have I done? And if it's worse, they in a prison cell, looking at the top bunk, or at the top of the bunk looking at the concrete slab up in front of them, saying, what have I done? I was once the guy.
All-Pro, catches touchdown passes from Tom Brady.
I just can't go like that.
Should be a first ballot Hall of Famer based purely on his on-field production during his peak years. And now he's wanted for attempted murder, extradited from Dubai, facing decades in prison, bankrupt. No team will ever touch him again, and his reputation is completely destroyed. The fall happened gradually, then all at once. The social media antics started as funny quirks, then they became concerning. The legal issues started as misdemeanors, then they...
You should have known he was off his rocker whenever he had this cut, though. I think that's when people should have realized, like, AP is on a different thing right now.
Escalated. The financial problems started as a few debts, then bankruptcy. The erratic behavior started as diva moments, then it became a mid-game walkout, then a shooting. This is what a complete unraveling looks like. Not a single moment where everything breaks, but a steady accumulation of bad decisions, burned bridges, ignored warnings, and escalating consequences until there's nothing left. And you have to wonder, could anyone have stopped this? Did the Steelers enable him too long because he was productive? Did Tom Brady and the Bucks give him a second chance without proper support systems? Did the NFL fail to address his mental health issues when they were off?
I mean, is it their responsibility, though? Because we do have to remind ourselves, these are grown men. These are still grown men. You know, is it their responsibility? Maybe, punishing AB, now he just lashed out earlier and we just got him?
Did his friends and family try to intervene?
Yeah, if we were going to try and put anything on anybody else, we could talk about maybe friends and family.
Was this always going to end?
You don't know how, if he was just like, I'm not answering the phone, y'all stop talking to me, I'm AB.
Regardless of what anyone did, was Antonio Brown always destined to self-destruct? And was it just a matter of when and how? Look, I don't know what's going to happen in court. Maybe the jury sees reasonable doubt. Maybe there's a plea deal we're not seeing coming. Maybe his lawyers find some angle we haven't thought of. But what I do know is this: Antonio Brown's story is over. Not the legal case, that'll drag on for months. I mean his story as an NFL player, as a celebrity, as someone with a future in football. That's done. The boy who made it from Central Michigan to the Super Bowl, who caught passes from Big Ben and Tom Brady, who was on a Hall of Fame trajectory, that story ended years ago. We're just watching the tragic epilogue now. Today's Extradition is just the latest chapter in a fall that's been happening in slow motion for half a decade. From all-pro to attempted murder suspect, from $80 million to bankruptcy, from Super Bowl champion to international fugitive to county jail. This is how legends fall, not in glory, but in handcuffs. And
fall too, bro. Hit the ground, hit the pavement hard, unrecognizable. That being said, man, enough. We repeating this stuff. Like the video, sub up, comment up, binge with your channel, bro. I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm great for y'all. And don't end up like AB. We gon' edit it later.